Trump plans tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China that could cripple trade. This is a New York Times story. All right, let's read this.
So they use the word cripple.
Yeah, of course. That's the word they put in there. President-elect Donald Trump announced plans to impose a 25% tariff on all goods from Mexico and Canada and an additional 10% tariff on Chinese imports, claiming the measures aim to curb illegal immigration and drug trafficking, particularly fentanyl. Trump declares the tariffs would remain until these issues are resolved, stating it is time for them to pay a very, very big price. Their tariffs could dramatically affect the economies of Canada, Mexico, and the U.S., with Canada's Deputy PM, Chrystia Freeland, emphasizing the mutually beneficial relationship between the nations. China's embassy in Washington warned no one will win a trade war, with Vice Commerce Minister Wang Shuwen stated the U.S. measures would ultimately raise consumer prices. Tom.
Well, look, if you want the best explanation of tariffs, you should go look at CNBC and what Howard Lutnick, who's in charge, who's now going to be nominated Secretary of Commerce, and he's been the co-chair of the Transition Committee. And he pointed out that, look, tariffs, the left wants to say, oh, and the globalists want to say, oh, he's going to put tariffs on Canada, so maple syrup coming from Canada is going to be $18.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way it works. How many Fords are sold in Europe? Very, very, very few. You want to know why? Because a bunch of countries over there have tariffs on Fords because they want to sell their cars. And yet their cars are over here, Porsches, BMWs, Mercedes, and big factories over here. We talked about it on the last podcast. So all Trump is saying is, hey, I'm not just talking about China on tariffs. Mexico, you got to pay for the wall, and you got to be helping me with this fentanyl coming across the border. In Canada, I've been helping you with energy for a while, but you got to help me out on cars here, and you got to play fair. All he's putting him on notice is, y'all got to play fair. That's what's going on here. He's not going to do this way of some inflationary effect on the American consumer. If anything, if he causes the price of fentanyl to go up 10x, that's a good thing because fewer people can afford it. But this is basically Trump threatens new tariffs, and of course, the New York Times has to say, well, since he's threatening something, we have to say it's bad because Trump's bad.
Yeah,
Orange man, bad.
Yeah.
We got to do bad. And so that's what it's all about. But you know what this is? This is Trump protecting the interest of you and me and moving the ball forward on a playing field because there's a little ball to be played with Mexico, a little ball to be played with Canada, and we already know that he's about to play big ball with China.
Damn. Can't wait.
Well, look, if you look at can you pull up the Wall Street Journal? This is the #1 story on the Wall Street Journal right now. The Trump fires salvo on North American free trade agreement. So there's actually another graph out there that I sent you below that. I can resend it if you want. But listen, there's campaigning and then there's actually governing. It seems like Trump is actually serious about these tariffs right now. Here's the share of U.S. imports since basically Trump took office in 2016. Chinese imports have plummeted. Now, I think Mexico is our #1 trading partner at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then there's Canada. All right, our neighbors to the north. But
coming back.
I think we're going to take Trump at his word when he said that my favorite word in the world is tariffs. It's better than love. We're going to figure this out. I think he said the Mexican and Canadian tariffs are 25%, and then China is closer to 10 and 15%. Tom, do you know those numbers? Regardless, Trump seems to be meaning business right here in the Wall Street Journal and other USA Today. And this is the #1 story that they're reporting right now. I think it means business right here. And I think part of the trade also is being treated very unfairly. The foundation of it with Mexico and Canada is the fentanyl crisis. Mm-hmm. Trump ain't playing this game. You've heard Trump say, don't do drugs, don't smoke cigarettes, don't get tattoos. He doesn't like to see the drugs coming in this country, and he's going to do something about it.
Can I ask you a question? Why? Go back to that chart. Sorry, Rob. That chart, China, you would think, shouldn't China be trading a lot more that Trump is gone? Why is it dropping so hard from
Biden kept the tariffs on China.
Oh, he did?
He didn't remove the tariffs. Okay. I don't think he removed
That's correct.
the tariffs. So he kept them on. That's why. So Biden said Trump's ideas are good. We're staying.
Wow.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
So that's why they still took a hit. Now, China is now coming and saying, hey, we're willing to what?
Negotiate.
We're willing to work with you.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying we're willing to come and work with you. The only dummy that's playing a little bit too hard is Trudeau, and he's not going to like what's going to happen when he takes place. Now, there's parts of it where he tries to say, I'm going to work with you or not. Everybody's going to have to work with him. What I like about this, Tom, a lot, and let me tell you what it is. So everything's about timing and amount of pressure you can use. Trump doesn't have 2 terms. He has 1 term, which means, you know that one scene when Obama says to, who was he sitting down with? Listen, why don't we talk about this on the 2nd term?
Oh, yeah.
Rob, do you know which clip that is?
The guy from Ukraine, right? Or Russia.
He says,
I think it was Russia. It was he goes, after my 2nd term. He didn't know he was Mike. He's like, after my 2nd term.
He didn't know
I
he
think
was
it was
Mike.
Putin.
No, it wasn't
it's not
Putin. It was
Putin.
Putin's
Not
number
Putin.
2 guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he says
Something with a
hey,
ski.
let's talk about this after the 2nd term. Rob, you can find this
That's
on Twitter.
it.
You can
That's
find it on Twitter, and you'll find the
Medvedev.
clip. But the thing is, that negotiation line is out. Everybody uses that line. I'm not going to put it and think it's only Obama that's going to use that line.
Yeah.
Every president's used that line, right? Is this someone
This
going
is
to
it
play
right
this
here?
clip?
Hot mic.
After my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah, I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir and understand what.
Okay, so that right there. By the way, how many presidents do you think have used that line?
Oh,
Every
All
single
of
one.
them.
Okay, so now here's a question. Trump doesn't have that line this time. No. So guess what? And the opposition cannot use that fear over his head either
yeah.
to say, hey, you do this with us, we'll support you on the next election.
Yeah. Nope.
That line is officially gone for both sides to use. Do
Yes.
you understand what I mean by
Yes.
that? Okay. So the fact that those 2 lines are gone, Trump's all business right now. Coming in, whatever you want to do, you got 4 years. And the thing with tariffs, guess what he's got to do? He's got to come out the gates strong. Longer he waits, less effective. Sooner he comes out, sooner they realize he's playing straight up, and they have to sit there and work with him. And then comes everything else. So I kind of like the fact that he's starting early with it to see what's going to happen with it. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with negotiation. I foresee them working with him faster than they did the first term, because the first term they didn't take him seriously. They're like, this guy's going to be out. Listen, this is not somebody to take serious. Now they realize that no, not only is he serious, even the guy that replaced him that talked as much trash about him, kept the tariffs on China. That means he has credibility to say, hey, don't worry about me. Whoever gets elected after me may even continue the tariffs with you. So don't fool around here.
Yeah.
You better take us seriously. The last hat we had, the 1 out of 500, it's gone. It's sold like you wouldn't believe. And the one that's 1 out of 50, I believe there's a couple of them selling on eBay for $4,000 or $5,000, numbered hats, because it was only 50 of them. Today, we are dropping a blackout hat. This will go in no time because it's only 250 of them. This is blackout. Late at night, in the dark, you put it on, you can see the Valuetainment, the Future Looks Bright hat. This is limited edition, numbered on the site, out of 250. So first come, first serve. Place the order. It's numbered, again, out of 250 blackout. We're going to put the link up there for you to get, vtmerch.com. Go place your order. And by the way, for some of you guys that want to wear business gear, business attire, these polo shirts, I wear them 2-3 times a week with the Valuetainment logo on it. It's incredible. It's comfortable. It's fitted right. If you want to place an order of those as well, we got some of those available that just came back in. It's in full stock. I highly recommend whatever you're going to order, go order it, because on Thursday, you know what starts on Thursday? Put it in your calendar. Massive, massive, massive Black Friday offer starts Thursday morning. We'll be doing a podcast on Thanksgiving, but these numbered hats will go in no time. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.